This is Cronkite News.
We may be in the final stretch of the global coronavirus vaccine race, with tens of thousands of volunteers being tested right now. And the best seat in the house isn't the stadium. We've got the scoop on the lofts above Petco Park.
Cronkite News starts now.
Welcome to this Cronkite News Update. I'm KEENEHAN. Thursday, July 30th will mark exactly 6 months since the World Health Organization declared COVID-19 to be a public health emergency. Nearly 16 million cases have been reported worldwide. More than 600,000 people have died, and the pandemic is far from over. The head of the WHO says it is accelerating, and the total number of deaths has doubled in the last 6 weeks. This morning, the Arizona Health Department reduced the total number of documented coronavirus deaths by 1, while reporting over 1,800 new cases. That brings the state's totals to over 163,800 cases and over 3,300 fatalities. The reduced death total reflects the correction of one case that, quote, may have been reported twice. 30,000 people here in the U.S., some in Arizona, will be part of the group testing the coronavirus vaccine. Hope Research Institute, with offices in Phoenix and Peoria, is among the 87 clinics across the nation who will take part in Phase 3 of COVID-19 vaccine trials. Monday, the clinic had its site invitation visit, which is the official training on things like protocol for the study itself. The vaccine currently in trial is known as mRNA-127, and it was developed by Moderna and the National Institute of Health. The CEO of Hope Research Institute says the outpouring of support from the community has been incredible, but volunteers to participate in the study are still needed more than ever.
We especially need volunteers that are at risk, healthcare workers, first responders, essential workers. As well as we need representation from minority groups. As you know, there is some data out there now that suggests that minority groups are more predisposed to complications from COVID. And so we want to make sure that those minority groups are adequately represented in this study.
Alderson says for those interested in volunteering, they can call 602-288-HOPE or visit hriaz.com/COVID. Right now, school districts are worrying about potential lawsuits being filed once in-person instruction resumes due to the coronavirus pandemic. That's because Arizona's largest insurer for schools says that it will not provide liability coverage for claims related to COVID. The Arizona School Risk Retention Trust, or TRUST, provides insurance coverage to nearly 250 school districts and community colleges across the state. The trust announced that it will not cover claims or lawsuits resulting from injuries and or damages due to COVID-19. This includes parents who may sue thinking their children contracted the virus at school. The reason? Well, it'll be too hard to pinpoint where students may have been infected. Instead, the trust gave a waiver and several forms to parents to sign to help protect districts from legal claims. Meanwhile, Republicans are putting forward a new stimulus proposal that would offer $1,200 checks to many Americans. White House economic advisor Larry Kudlow says the package includes a re-employment bonus.
We're talking about employment benefits and so forth. Don't forget, there's a $1,200 check coming. That is going to be part of the new package. I would have preferred a payroll tax cut on top of that check, but be that as it may, politically it doesn't work. But the check is there, the reemployment bonus is there, the retention bonus is there. There'll be breaks for small tax credits for small businesses and restaurants. That's all going to be there. It's a very well-rounded package. It's a very well-targeted package.
The complete recovery proposal is expected to be unveiled sometime today. Republicans say it would not renew the full unemployment insurance enhancement. President Trump's national security advisor has tested positive for COVID-19. Robert O'Brien's diagnosis marks the highest-ranking Trump administration official known to have tested positive. It's unclear when O'Brien last met with Trump, but their last public appearance together was more than 2 weeks ago during a visit to U.S. Southern Command in Miami. O'Brien, one of Trump's top aides, was in Europe recently for a meeting with officials from the UK, France, Germany, and Italy. He has been working from home since last week. With 100 days remaining until Election Day, Voters in 3 critical battleground states are now swinging toward presumptive presidential nominee Joe Biden. New CNN polls show Biden is beating President Trump in Arizona, Florida, and Michigan, all states that Trump carried in the 2016 election. In Arizona, 49% chose Biden and 45% Trump. 51% of registered voters polled in Florida chose Biden. Trump had 46%. And 52% of those polled in Michigan chose Biden over Trump's 40%. Helping Biden could be Trump's disapproval rates for handling the pandemic and racial inequality. Trump's average disapproval rate across the 3 states is 60%. The CNN polls were conducted by SSRS. Today, civil rights icon Representative John Lewis will lie in state in the Capitol Rotunda. He's the first black lawmaker to receive one of the highest American honors. With the Capitol close to the public amidst the coronavirus pandemic, Congressman Lewis will spend only a few hours lying in state under the Capitol dome. Before that, there will be an invitation-only ceremony reserved exclusively for members of the legislative branch. About 80 lawmakers are expected to attend, according to a Capitol official. Afterward, the coffin will be moved outside to the Capitol steps, and members of the public will be able to line up with masks required and social distancing enforced to view it from the plaza below. Among those paying their respects will be Vice President Mike Pence and Joe Biden, the presumptive Democratic presidential nominee. President Trump is not scheduled to attend.
John Lewis became a titan of the civil rights movement and then the conscience of the Congress. Here in Congress, John was revered and beloved on both sides of the aisle, on both sides of the Capitol.
Developing now, forecasters say we could get more monsoon action in eastern and southeastern Arizona on Monday, with the possibility of spotty storms in the valley. We should dry back out for the rest of the week, though, with temperatures climbing to 115 degrees. By Thursday, an excessive heat watch will go into effect in the Phoenix area. It's expected to last through Saturday night. Opening day for the San Diego Padres was a historically empty affair, with only cardboard cutouts of fans in the seats to take in the team's 7-2 victory over the Diamondbacks. But there was little difference for a familiar face, or shall I say voice, perched high above the field. Jamie Chambers explains.
It was a surreal sight from the spectacular view from the legendary condo complex overlooking Petco Park. And who was standing on the balcony but none other than longtime Padres voice, Bob Chandler.
This is the start of the Padres' 52nd season, so it's my 52nd opening day.
With the Padres playing the Arizona Diamondbacks with their stands vacant, private balcony viewing real estate has become a golden ticket for fans, and Chip Messenger just happens to be the man with the view.
The minute I walked in, I knew this is the place I had to be.
Messenger posted a picture on Twitter, and the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times reached out because Chip is one of the very lucky few across the United States that will still be able to watch live baseball in person. This year, there are only 60 games, but normally
I watch 145 of the 162 games a year.
But Chip also knows when to share in these extraordinary circumstances, like when he invited Bob Chandler to keep up his opening day streak.
I can honestly say this is the latest home opener ever in Padre history. But it counts as being there to watch it, right, from this angle?
Absolutely, it counts. No asterisk, the streak is clean.
Enjoy. Just enjoy the season. I'm sure the television ratings will be great.
Here are 3 more sports stories we're tracking today. First, Arizona State announced Sunday that the entire men's and women's swimming and diving rosters will redshirt the 2020 to 2021 season due to the coronavirus. Last season was interrupted and ultimately canceled by the pandemic before the athletes could compete in the NCAA championships, negating an entire season of work at the last second. The swim season typically starts in September and finishes in March, a longer competition schedule than most collegiate sports. The timing of the season makes it difficult to plan the operations amidst the pandemic. Second, as the Arizona Coyotes look to restart their season in less than a week, they'll do so without general manager John Chayka. According to a statement put out by the team yesterday, Chayka has chosen to quit on a strong and competitive team, a dedicated staff, and the Arizona Coyotes fans. The reason for the rift appears to be Chayka's request to pursue another professional opportunity that was not with another team. It's unclear if he's free to pursue other opportunities now, as both sides are engaged in a legal dispute about his contract. And third, 2 Major League Baseball games scheduled for tonight have been postponed after more than a dozen Miami Marlins players and staff members tested positive for COVID-19 in an outbreak that stranded the team in Philadelphia. The Marlins' home opener against Baltimore was called off, as was the New York Yankees game at Philadelphia. The Yankees would have been in the same clubhouse that the Marlins used last weekend. A person familiar with the situation told the Associated Press on condition of anonymity that 9 Marlins players and 5 staff members received positive results in tests conducted Friday. It's unclear when the Marlins received the results. That's it for this edition of Cronkite News. For more Arizona news updates throughout the day, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and find us online at cronkitenews.azpbs.org.